The Dodge Durango might be best known for its ridiculous performance variants, but the entry-level Durango packs a good punch. The Durango's 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 sends 293 horsepower through an 8-speed automatic transmission to the rear wheels. All-wheel drive systems are available, as well as more potent engines, though those upgrades can quickly throw the Durango above $40,000. The Ford Explorer dates back to the original SUV craze that dates back to the 1990s. This latest generation of Explorer, the sixth generation, has 30 years of development behind it. Like other products on this list, the base Explorer offers plenty for the price, but you can quickly spring it past the $40,000 mark by jumping to the more upmarket or performance trims. Capitalizing on the three-row crossover craze, Mazda's CX-9 gives Mazda fans an answer for their growing family's needs. Powered by a turbocharged 2.5-liter i4, the CX-9 sends 250 horsepower and 320 lb-ft of torque to the standard 6-speed automatic transmission. Redesigned for 2022, the Nissan Pathfinder returns to the SUV's rugged roots despite moving from its traditional body-on-frame construction to a unibody layout. The new Pathfinder also ditches the CVT and returns to a traditional automatic transmission. The 2022 Pathfinder is also available in front and all-wheel drive models. The Volkswagen Atlas led the charge for VW's latest crossover push when it made its debut in 2018. This midsize crossover features enough combinations of powertrains, trims, and features to make this UTA fit most folks' needs and means. Under the hood is the standard 2.0-liter turbocharged i4 making 235 horsepower and 258 lb-ft of torque. If you want more power, the Atlas also offers as optional the corporate narrow-angle VR6 with 276 horsepower. Sharing a platform with the aforementioned Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade takes a very different styling path. Instead of the relatively reserved look of its Kia cousin, the Palisade is more aggressively styled. It also has a different interior design feel but still features 3 rows and has the same 3.8-liter V6 underhood. The Kia Telluride made waves as a concept at the Detroit Auto Show in 2016 and surprised some when it made it to production. While it's less opulent than the concept, the Telluride is a family-friendly 3-row crossover with a hefty dose of style. Powering the Telluride is a 291 horsepower 3.8-liter V6 that feeds a standard 8-speed automatic. While it might not be as popular as its smaller stablemates, the Toyota Venza shows how diverse the crossover market is under $40,000. Exclusively available as a hybrid, the Venza moves by way of a 2.5-liter gasoline engine, an ECVT, and an electric motor. The electric motor and gasoline engine combine to make 219 horsepower. That power figure might not be great, but the highlight of the Venza is its fuel economy: 40 city, 37 highway, and 39 combined mpg. Honda's Pilot first rolled onto the scene in 2003 during the original SUV craze. The current generation model debuted in 2016, drawing power from a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 that mates to a now standard 9-speed automatic transmission. Available in both all-wheel drive models and more affordable front-wheel drive variants, the Pilot hits multiple price points, but still slots in below $40,000. The Ascent is Subaru's entry into the tightly contested 3-row crossover field. Powered by the company's legendary Boxer engine, the 2.4-liter turbocharged flat-4 makes 260 horsepower and 277 lb-ft of torque. And with 3 rows of seating, this Subaru could pull double duty as your main family hauler. Kia's Telluride isn't the company's only crossover. The Sorento entered its fourth generation in 2020 and is nearing its 20th anniversary as a nameplate. The Sorento is a mid-sizer slotting well below the Telluride, and while its smaller size does make for a smaller cabin, it also makes for a lighter machine requiring a smaller engine, a 2.5-liter i4. The Ford Bronco Sport shouldn't be confused with the more hardcore Ford Bronco. This soft rotor shares the same underpinnings as the Ford Escape but offers a different experience. The Bronco Sport might not have the off-road chops of the bigger Bronco, but it does offer an easier commute. The folks at General Motors and Chevrolet have been churning out wagons and utility vehicles for most of its life. With that in mind, you'd obviously expect to see a bow-tie-badged crossover on this list. The Chevrolet Equinox packs a 1.5-liter turbocharged i4 under its hood, making 170 horsepower and 203 lb-ft of torque. This Turbo 4 mates to a stand. The venerable Toyota RAV4 may easily be called the Camry of crossovers. Now on its fifth generation, the RAV4 has eclipsed the 10 million global sales mark since its debut in Japan in 1994. Available in front-drive or all-wheel drive models, the current model is also available with a hybrid powertrain, meaning the RAV4 has something for most folks shopping for a budget-friendly crossover. Subaru is synonymous with cold weather states, thanks to the reputation of its fantastic all-wheel drive products. Its compact Forester crossover is no exception. Kicking off right before the turn of the century, the Forester spans 5 generations, the most recent version making bowing in 2018. Powering this Forester is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine making 182 horsepower and 176 lb-ft of torque. If you don't need the size of the larger Honda Pilot but still want the elevated view found in crossovers, Honda has something for you, too. The Honda CR-V made its introduction in the 1990s but has kept up with the times. Powering the base CR-V is a 190 horsepower 1.5-liter turbocharged i4. If that's not enough, Honda also offers the CR-V in a more powerful hybrid model that sends 212 horsepower to the wheels. The fourth-generation Hyundai Tucson battles in one of the most competitive spaces, the compact crossover segment. Powering this Hyundai is a 2.5-liter gasoline direct-injected i4 that makes 187 horsepower. The power might not push you back into your seat, but the engine does help the Tucson deliver reasonable fuel economy at 29 miles per gallon combined. The Mazda CX-5 is exactly what you'd hope from a compact crossover from the brand, delivering sporty-leaning driving dynamics. Available with either a turbocharged or naturally aspirated 2.5-liter i4, and with optional all-wheel drive if you need the extra traction. Volkswagen added the Taos stateside in 2020 to its ever-expanding crossover lineup to heat up the highly competitive compact crossover pool. The Taos slots below Volkswagen's Tiguan and Atlas crossovers, which means it might not have as much space as its larger counterparts but does make it easier to manage in the city. In a sea of look-alike, entry-level crossovers, the Toyota CHR sports some of the most polarizing styling in the Toyota portfolio. Originally planned for the since-defunct, youth-targeted Scion brand, this Toyota packs plenty of features for its relatively low price. Its 144 horsepower 2.0-liter i4 isn't as potent as others on this list, but it does translate into decent fuel economy.